What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you tune into the channel. Check out the content. And with that being said, man, I want to talk about LeBron James. Uh, and basically, this is an episode from Jason Whitlock when they reacting to LeBron James, stat padding and things like that, right? So, but before I get into the LeBron James stat padding situation. I just think that, and people say, well, why y'all, why do people do so much content on LeBron James? And so is it personal or what's going on? Especially younger people who really don't understand, right? People who didn't have an opportunity, some young people who didn't have the opportunity to see Kobe play and then players who came before Kobe. And so when you're used to like a certain level of a competitiveness in the basketball players. You're not used to seeing guys flop or because that like before Kobe generation and before Kobe, most basketball players didn't do that. Like they wasn't trying to flop and trying to get calls like that because when you got fouled, you took legitimate fouls. Like it was hard fouls. So it was no reason for you to flop because you really, a lot of times you really got hit. Now, I remember watching Dennis Rodman. Sometimes Dennis Rodman, it was a little bit dramatic though, but when Dennis Rodman was being dramatic, he was trying to not really get calls, but Dennis Rodman was trying to get into the head of the like the his opponent that he was playing against, right? And trying to exaggerate the situation, which for LeBron James, I think sometimes he tried to exaggerate the situation too. But Dennis Rodman wouldn't flop in a situation where if you needed a basket, he wouldn't be number one, he wouldn't even be in that situation. But just say if he needed a rebound, like Dennis Rodman would go hard for that rebound, dive and just sacrifice his body for that rebound. He's not gonna depend on a referee to make a call in a situation like that. So he's not gonna flop at that, at that time. And now if it's a situation where he just trying to position himself for a rebound or something like that, he might flop then, but in a game, in a clutch situation, he not gonna flop, right? And so when you have guys who have people who have watched games and watched enough basketball to know like how a champion play in certain situations, then you just know. And I don't think it's people taking, shots at LeBron James unnecessarily. It's just that LeBron James he is from any other, like I said, any other superstar basketball player. Like you never saw this from Isaiah Thomas. You never saw this from Larry Bird or Magic Johnson. Like those guys never flop like that. Like because they was really getting hit. Even Dwayne Wade, like when Dwayne Wade, most of the time, every time he went to the basket, man, somebody hit him hard. And so he wasn't flopping. He was taking real hits in there, right? So let me get to what Jason Whitlock and his two co-hosts said about LeBron James stat padding and things like that. And then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna give my input on the LeBron James situation.
Something else I wanted to get to with you guys before I brought in TJ Mo. LeBron James last night, historic moment, Scap. I know you know where you were at last night. He became the oldest player with a triple double. I found this tweet. I think it was from Apex Jones. Just trashing. Yeah, it was from Apex Jones. My memory's great. The king of stat hunting, stat padding, and smoke ducking LeBron James. LeBron, you can't use his full name. The face of the NBA's load management black eye shamelessly load managed the 2 seed Spurs. He skipped the game with Wembyamba and the Spurs and then stays in a 20-point blowout over the 12 seed Mavericks to chase a triple double. He stole a rebound that clearly belonged to Jackson Hayes to become the oldest player to record a triple double. This single play defines his career. Holy cow, career. Using Hayes' box out to steal the rebound. Hayes worked for and pad his numbers to reach another milestone fraudulently, cheating the game and his teammates for his own self-aggrandizement. 23 years, a fraud.
All right, so let me just say this, right? Now, if you have so many people calling LeBron James a fraud and a stat padder, I don't know like what LeBron James think his legacy is going to be like once he finished playing basketball. If everybody see what LeBron James is doing, you know, and then and like we are looking at a time where basketball, the ratings are down, attendance is down, and then there's definitely disapproval for what LeBron James is doing. And everything that goes on in the league is not his fault. But if he the face of the league and he's conducting himself like this, I'm just curious to see like what what he think his legacy is going to be once he lead a game of basketball. Like because like none of those guys, Magic Johnson or Larry Bird or Isaiah Thomas, Kobe Bryant, they didn't chase stats, right? They chase wins. And so if you play long enough, eventually, and you have enough success, you're going like the stats just came naturally because of your the way you played. The stats came naturally. Nobody said they wanted 40,000 points. They wanted wins. They wanted championships. They wasn't worried about the points. If they can beat you with only scoring 25 points in a game, then their job was done. They didn't need to stay in there to to get their extra 5 points, or they didn't need to stay in there to get an extra rebound, right? So they wasn't chasing stats like that. Now, let me get back to what Jason and his co-host are saying.
Scap, did you ghostwrite that?
I was going to say Apex Jones sounds like he hates LeBron more than I do. So shout out Apex. Look, I'll say this about LeBron and that. Let me expand upon that tweet real quick or whatever, that posting on X. Look at the stats. Look at this highlight you're showing. Shout out to your production team. That rebound came with 2 minutes and 8 seconds left in the fourth quarter of a 20-point blowout against a team not even in the play-in range right now, who, by the way, didn't even have Cooper Flag last night. Okay, so LeBron, and that was his, by the way, 35th minute played of that game. Do you know what that constituted, guys? The most minutes of anyone in that entire game on either team. There were 24 other guys that logged a minute in that game, and LeBron played more than all of them to chase down that 10th rebound, which he did again, obviously snag it right off of his center right there, Jackson Hayes. And then, of course, he's running down the court pointing, and the crowd is cheering. It is a disgusting moment. The NBA needs to lose this guy. They need to shed the weight of this fraud so they can fully start healing this product. Just an incredible scene. Guys, I guess whoever knows, and whoever doesn't. Like the LeBron, the blind apologists, the bootlickers and jock sniffers out there will be groveling at the feet of the fraud king all day today over this sham triple-double. It's just laughable.
Steve, it reminded me a lot of Kobe Bryant's 60-point night to end his career. Your thoughts?
It is. Look, as the resident Laker fan in recess, Whitlock, that's a point taken that I can't completely disagree with. When it comes to hating LeBron James, Scap and Apex, they are the Joe DiMaggio and Ted Williams of that. They battle. It's two of the all-time greats. I've gotten to see their work up close. It's a great honor. But yeah, in the immortal words, I think it was Diana Ross as a Laker fan in recess, set me free, why don't you, Bron? My God, there's nothing. This is just one man's ego, one woman's incompetence that is complete. I'm just telling you, Jason, you have not lived in LA for at least, 6 years now?
5.
I have never seen the passion and the interest for the Lakers in our community be this muted. It's almost like they do not exist. You know what people are really looking forward to in LA as sports fans, believe it or not? Spring training. This is now clearly a Dodger town, and it's not even close.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. Like Lakers fans, and you know how important the Lakers are to Los Angeles, man, and for them not to really be paying the Lakers no attention is crazy. I just watched a video with Baron Davis, right? He from California, and he said on the Running Back podcast he don't even watch the Lakers. And so when you see diehard fans, they just waiting for LeBron James to retire. I don't know what the league, and I think this guy Steve can make a good point. Like maybe the league can't really like start to rebuild and repair its image until LeBron James sit down. So maybe it'll start next year. You know, if he's in Cleveland, you know, because I think these kind of stats and stat padding for LeBron James, in my opinion, is not really doing anything for basketball. It's just hurting basketball, and it just seems like the league is standing around and allowing this to happen. You know, but I keep saying this, man, because I want people to remember that I think once LeBron James retire, I think you know. I think all of the stat padding and all of his big ego and how he did the Lakers, man, is going to come back to haunt him. Just like with Coach Belichick, Bill Belichick, and the owner of the Patriots, you know, they're not getting into the Hall of Fame right away. You know, with the careers that they and the success that they had, they didn't get in there. And I don't even know if Tom Brady is going to get in on his first chance, right? Although I think Bill Belichick deserved to be in there, and I'm not even a Bill Belichick fan. I think Robert Kraft deserved to be in there. I'm not a Tom Brady. Yeah, I like, you know, I acknowledge that Tom Brady is one of the best quarterbacks, right? But I think because of some of the cheating accusations, Deflategate, Spygate, and all that stuff, that's what they, you know, they reaping the consequences of that. And I think when LeBron James retire, I think it'll be the same for him. I just think it's going to be magnified for LeBron James, though, man, because he did so much. He just so much ammunition for LeBron James. Yeah, and so that's my take on it. I think right now, because he's in the league is not going to punish him like that. But once he leave, man, I think it's going to be open season. So that's my take on it. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to leave a comment, and I'll check you all out in the next video. Peace.